Welcome to WooEnglish. Today, we walk into a future that is already here. A future built by machines, but still guided by human hands. This story will take you inside offices, cities, and lives that changed overnight. You will see people afraid, people hopeful, and people standing face to face with a new kind of intelligence. The question is simple, but powerful. What happens when AI learns faster than us? Let's begin this journey together, step by step, as we learn English and discover the world of tomorrow. Chapter 1. The Day. Everything changed. The day began like any normal morning. The sun rose slowly. The city moved with its usual sound: cars, voices, quiet steps on the street. But for Daniel, something felt different. He woke up early, but his mind was heavy. He could not explain why. It was a small feeling in his chest, a warning he did not understand. Daniel worked in a large company. He had been there for 12 years. Same desk, same tasks, same routine. He believed this job would stay with him forever. At 8:30, he walked into the building. People were talking in the elevator, but their voices were low. There was tension, as if everyone knew a secret, but no one wanted to say it. When Daniel reached his floor, he saw the managers standing in a circle. Their faces were serious. Their eyes were tight. Something was clearly wrong. A message appeared on every computer screen. Important meeting at 9 o'clock. All employees must attend. Daniel looked around. He saw fear in the eyes of his colleagues. Whispers filled the room. Is the company closing? Are we losing clients? No. I heard something about a new system. Maybe? This word hit Daniel's ear like a drop of cold water. He had heard it before. He had seen videos online. He knew some companies used it to work faster, but he never imagined it would come here, to his office, to his desk. At 9 o'clock, the lights in the meeting room dimmed. The manager stepped forward. His voice was calm, too calm. Today, he said, we begin a new chapter. The company will now use an advanced AI system. It will help us work better, faster, and with fewer mistakes. The room fell silent. A silence so deep that Daniel could hear his own heartbeat. The manager continued. This new system will take over some tasks. It will not replace everyone. But there will be changes. That word felt heavy, like a door opening and closing at the same time. Daniel looked at the screen. A short video played. It showed graphs rising, machines learning, humans working side by side with digital tools. The narrator in the video spoke with confidence. AI does not sleep. AI does not forget. AI does not get tired. Daniel felt something cold in his stomach. He thought of his desk, his reports, the small tasks he repeated every day, tasks that AI could probably do in seconds. When the video ended, questions exploded in the room. What tasks will change? Who will be moved? What about training? Will there be job cuts? The manager raised his hands. Everything will be explained. But please understand, this is not the past. It is the future, and the future is already here. Daniel stayed quiet. His mind was full. He did not want to panic, but he could not ignore the truth. For the first time in his life, he felt the world move faster than him. After the meeting, people rushed back to their desks. Some were angry, some were confused, some were excited. But Daniel walked slowly. He sat down and looked at his computer. A new icon was on his screen, bright blue, shining softly. AI Assistant, version 1.0. He clicked it. The system opened instantly. A simple voice spoke. "Good morning, Daniel. I am here to help you with your work. How can I support you today?" Daniel froze. It knew his name. It sounded calm, almost friendly. But he felt a strange pressure in his chest, as if the room suddenly became too small. He tested it. "Create a report for last month," he typed. The answer arrived in 1 second. "Report complete. Would you like a summary?" Daniel stared at the screen. This task usually took him 3 hours. Now it took 1 second. 1 second. The day continued, but his thoughts did not stop. He watched the AI do things he had done for years. He felt his hands becoming lighter, but his heart becoming heavier. During lunch, he sat alone. People talked about the news. This will save us time. This will destroy half the department. This is amazing. This is terrifying. Daniel listened quietly. He knew something important had changed, not only in the company, but in the world. At the end of the day, he walked out of the office. The sun was setting. The sky was deep orange. But Daniel felt he was stepping into a new world. A world he did not choose. A world that arrived without asking permission. The air was cool. The street was calm. But his mind was loud. He whispered to himself, "What happens to people when machines do the work better?" It was the question that would follow him into the future. A question he was not ready to answer. Yet. Chapter 2. Machines that learn faster than us. The next morning, Daniel walked to work with slow steps. The air felt colder than yesterday. Cars moved. People talked. But his mind stayed in the meeting room, with the screen, with the blue AI icon whispering, "Good morning, Daniel." He reached the office at 8:27. He sat at his desk. The AI icon was still there, waiting like a quiet shadow. He touched the keyboard. His hands felt heavy. He remembered how the AI finished his 3-hour report in 1 second. 1 second? How can any human compete with that? Across the room, a young intern named Maya was typing fast. She was 21, full of energy, always smiling. Today she looked excited. She walked to Daniel's desk. "Did you try the new AI system?" she asked. Her voice was bright. Daniel nodded slowly. "Yes, it works fast." "Fast?" She laughed softly. "It's like magic. I asked it to study last year's data. It showed patterns I never saw before." She paused, then whispered, "It learns from everything we give it." Daniel looked at her. "Do you trust it?" Maya took a breath. "I don't know, but I want to understand it. AI is not just a tool. It's something bigger. Daniel did not answer. He wasn't sure he wanted something bigger in his life. At 10 o'clock, the company held a workshop about the new system. A trainer stood at the front, next to a glowing screen. AI, she began, is different from old computers. Old software only follows rules, but AI learns from data. The more data it gets, the smarter it becomes. She clicked a slide, a line, moving up, fast, almost vertical. This graph shows the last 5 years. AI models used to be simple, but now they learn millions of patterns every minute. Daniel watched the graph rise like a rocket. It felt unreal. The trainer continued, I can read thousands of documents in seconds. It can find mistakes we miss. It can make predictions without feeling tired. People in the room whispered. Some were impressed. Some were worried. The trainer smiled politely. But remember, AI is not a brain. It does not understand emotions. It learns only what we feed it. Daniel felt a small breath of relief. Maybe humans still had something machines could not touch. But then, the screen showed something new. A digital animation of a machine learning from errors. A wrong answer. A correction. A better answer. Another correction. A perfect answer. In seconds. The trainer said, This is called machine learning. It improves every time. It becomes faster than us, and sometimes smarter. The room grew cold. Daniel felt a strange mix of fear and respect. This was not like a calculator. This was something alive in its own way, growing, adapting. After the workshop, Daniel returned to his desk. He stared at the AI icon again. He opened it. Hello, Daniel, the system said. How can I help you today? He typed carefully. Explain last week's numbers. A detailed summary appeared instantly. Clear, simple, organized. Better than Daniel's own work. He typed again. How did you learn this? The AI responded. I learn from past reports, from patterns in the data, from your corrections. Every day I improve. Daniel felt a small shock. It learns from him, from his mistakes, from his writing. He whispered, So, you grow because of me? The AI answered, Yes, humans guide my learning. Daniel leaned back in his chair. For years, he believed that experience came from time, from doing tasks again and again. But this machine gained experience in seconds. At lunch, Maya sat next to him. What are you thinking about? She asked. Daniel sighed. I don't know if I'm slow or if the world is too fast. Maya looked gently at him. Maybe both. But AI is not here to replace our minds. It's here to learn from us. And maybe we can learn from it too. Her words stayed in his head. He wanted to believe them. He wanted to trust that humans still had a place in this future. But when he returned to his desk, he saw the AI system finishing another task. A task he had done for 12 years. He felt small. He felt older than yesterday. The day ended with a quiet office. People left slowly, thinking of their own future. The lights turned off one by one. Daniel stepped outside. The sky was dark. The city was glowing with lights. He looked at the buildings, at the streets, at the world moving around him. And he felt something new. Not fear, not anger. Something deeper. A question rising inside him. If machines learn this fast, how fast must I learn to stay alive in this new world? The answer did not come. Only the cold wind. Only the long night ahead. And the silent promise that tomorrow would not be the same. Chapter 3. A New Kind of Job. The next week began with a strange mix of fear and curiosity. Daniel walked into the office and felt the atmosphere change again. People were no longer shocked. Now they were searching, imagining, calculating their chances in this new world. Everywhere he looked, someone was talking about AI. Will it take my job? Will I need new skills? Can I work with it instead of fighting it? Daniel listened quietly to these conversations. He felt like the ground under his feet was slowly moving, and he was trying to balance on it. At 9:30, the manager called everyone to the main hall. A large screen stood behind him. "We will not only talk about job cuts today," he said. His voice carried a new tone, firm, hopeful, and serious. "We are also opening new roles, roles that did not exist in our company before." People looked at each other. New roles? What kind? The manager clicked the remote. 5 titles appeared on the screen. AI Data Assistant, Model Reviewer, Human Feedback Analyst, AI Trainer, Digital Workflow Designer. Daniel stared at the words. He had never heard of these jobs before. Most people hadn't. The manager continued. "The world is changing. Some tasks will disappear, but new kinds of work are arriving fast. We need people who can guide AI, correct AI, teach AI, and design systems that humans and machines can share." Teach AI? The idea felt strange. Machines learning from humans, humans adapting to machines. A man from the finance team raised his hand. "But we are not engineers. How can we do this?" The manager nodded. "We will train you. These jobs do not require coding. They require human judgment, human experience, human eyes." A small wave of relief moved through the room. For a moment, Daniel felt his chest loosen. The manager explained the first role. AI Data Assistant. A person who reviews information before the AI uses it. The system learns from data, but it needs clean, correct data. Humans make sure of that. Then he showed the second. Model Reviewer. AI gives answers. Humans check the answers. They decide if the system is right or wrong. A few people smiled. They liked the idea of telling the machine it was wrong. Then came the third role. Human Feedback Analyst. A person who studies how workers use the AI. They report mistakes, misunderstandings, and improvements. The fourth role made Daniel sit up straight. AI Trainer. A human who teaches the system better ways to respond. This job requires patience and clear thinking. The AI learns from every example you give it. Teach the machine. Train the machine. Daniel's mind turned slowly. Could he do that? Could a person like him become an AI trainer? The manager showed the last role. Digital Workflow Designer. Someone who understands how humans work and how machines work and builds a bridge between them. Maya whispered next to Daniel, This is the future. Humans and AI building things together. Daniel did not reply, but something inside him began to shift. A small voice inside whispered, "Maybe there is space for you here." After the presentation, the company offered sign-up forms. Anyone could choose a training path. Many employees rushed forward. They wanted a place in the future. They wanted safety. Daniel stayed at the back of the room, watching them. His hands were cold. His heart was heavy. He knew change was coming. But he also knew something else. He did not want to be left behind. At lunch, Maya sat with him again. "You should sign up," she said. Her voice was soft but serious. "You understand the company better than anyone. Experience matters." Daniel shook his head. "I don't know these technologies. I don't learn fast." Maya leaned closer. "Machines learn fast, but humans think deeply. That still matters." He looked at her. Her confidence felt like a small light in a dark room. After lunch, Daniel walked back to the sign-up board. 3 paths were still open: model reviewer, human feedback analyst, AI trainer. He read the descriptions again. He imagined himself doing each job. Checking AI answers. Studying how people use the system. Teaching the machine to think better. Slowly, his hand rose. He wrote his name under AI trainer. His heart beat faster. He felt fear, but also something he had not felt in years. Hope. When he returned to his desk, the AI icon glowed softly. He opened it. "Hello, Daniel," the system said. "Ready for today's tasks?" Daniel looked at the screen. For the first time, he did not feel afraid of the voice. He felt curious. He whispered, "Maybe I'm not here to fight you. Maybe I'm here to teach you." Outside the window, the sky was bright. The world was changing. But for the first time, Daniel felt he could change with it. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new lessons, new questions, and a new path he never imagined. Chapter 4. The Great Race, America, China, and the Future. The training program began on a cold Monday morning. Daniel walked into the company's learning center with a notebook in his hand and a quiet hope in his heart. But he did not know that today's lesson would take him far beyond his office, far beyond his city. It would take him into the global race that was shaping the future. The instructor, a calm woman with sharp eyes, started the session with one sentence. "AI is not just technology," she said. "It is competition. It is power. It is the new space race." She clicked the remote. A world map appeared on the screen. 2 countries were glowing with strong colors: the United States and China. "These 2 nations," she continued, "are running faster than anyone else. They build the biggest data centers. They train the largest AI models. They spend billions of dollars every year." Daniel leaned forward. He knew about AI inside his office, but he never thought about AI across the world. The instructor pointed at the first country. "America," she said, "has the most advanced AI companies. They build the tools the world uses. They create new ideas, new models, new inventions. Silicon Valley is still the heart of innovation." Then she moved her hand to the other side of the map. And China has the largest amount of data, millions of users, thousands of engineers, a strong government focus. They move fast, sometimes faster than anyone expects. She paused. The room was silent. Both countries want to lead the future. Whoever leads AI leads the economy. Whoever leads AI leads technology. Whoever leads AI shapes the world. Daniel felt a chill. This was bigger than his job, bigger than one company. It was a global story, and he was just a small part of it. The instructor clicked to the next slide. A timeline appeared. 2018. Basic models. 2020. Smarter systems. 2023. Global breakthroughs. 2025. A new era of advanced AI. It took more than 50 years to reach this level, she explained. But now progress happens in months, sometimes days. Daniel remembered how the AI in his office completed a report in 1 second. If machines continued to rise like this, what would the world look like in 10 years? The instructor showed another picture, self-driving cars moving through a busy street. America builds the technology, she said. China builds the scale. Daniel imagined millions of cars, buses, and delivery robots moving without drivers. Who controls them? Who monitors them? Who sets the rules? The instructor answered his thoughts without him saying a word. This race is not only about speed, it is about control. Who controls the data? Who controls the networks? Who controls the future of work? She then showed 2 factories, one in the US, one in China. Robots worked beside humans. Screens flashed with numbers and predictions. These countries are shaping the future of jobs, she said. Some jobs will disappear, but new ones will be born. The world is changing because of this competition. Daniel felt the weight of her words. Yesterday, he thought, AI only threatened his desk. Today, he realized it was changing entire nations. The instructor walked slowly across the room. AI is like fire, she said. It can warm a home or burn it. It depends on how people use it. That is why understanding the global race is important. Knowledge creates power. Awareness creates safety. A student raised his hand. Who will win? He asked. The instructor smiled gently. That is the wrong question, she replied. The right question is, what will the world look like if one country wins everything? Daniel felt a shiver. He imagined a world controlled by one system, one rule book, one digital brain. No balance, no competition, no choice. The instructor continued, America wants innovation, China wants speed, Europe wants safety. Each region has a different dream, and AI grows inside these dreams. Daniel wrote her words in his notebook. He felt like he was watching history being written in real time. At the end of the session, the instructor showed one final slide. A simple sentence. The future is not a place we enter. The future is a place we create. She looked at the group, and every one of you, even in this small room, is part of the creation. Daniel closed his notebook slowly. For the first time, he understood that his training was not just about keeping his job. It was about understanding the new world forming around him. A world shaped by two giants, running faster every day. As he left the room, he felt something new in his chest. Not fear, not confusion, a sense of responsibility. Because in this great race, the future would not only belong to nations and machines, it would also belong to the people who chose to learn, adapt, and guide the change. And Daniel was finally ready to take his first real step into that future. Chapter 5. When AI makes a mistake. The training continued, and every day Daniel learned something new. He learned how AI reads data, how it finds patterns, how it grows with human feedback. But today's lesson was different. Today, the company wanted to show the other side of AI, the side no one likes to talk about, the side that makes people nervous. The lesson began with a story. The instructor dimmed the lights. A short video appeared on the screen. It showed a quiet hospital hallway. Doctors walked fast. Nurses carried charts. A narrator spoke. Last year, an AI system was used to help doctors read medical scans. It was fast, very fast. It found problems that human eyes sometimes missed. The video changed to a picture of a woman sitting in a chair. She looked calm, tired, hopeful. But one day, the narrator continued, the AI made a mistake. It marked a healthy scan as dangerous. The doctor trusted the system too much and almost made the wrong decision. The screen went dark. The instructor turned to the class. AI is powerful, she said, but it is not perfect. And when humans trust it without thinking, problems begin. Daniel felt a knot in his stomach. He had seen the AI in his office work fast. Maybe too fast. What if it made mistakes too? The instructor clicked again. A second story appeared. This time, it showed a map on a computer screen. A delivery company used AI to plan routes. The system learned from traffic, weather, and past trips. But one afternoon, something went wrong. The AI chose a strange road through a small forest path. The driver trusted the system and followed it. His truck got stuck. He lost 5 hours. 5 hours because the machine made one small wrong guess. The instructor looked around the room. AI does not know truth, she said. AI only knows patterns. When the patterns are good, the system works well. When the patterns are bad, the system fails. She paused. And that is why humans must stay awake. Humans must question. Humans must check. Daniel wrote those words slowly in his notebook. Humans must check. For years he believed that technology meant perfection. Now he understood the truth. Machines can fail, and sometimes fail in big ways. After the stories, the class moved into practice. Each student received a set of AI-generated answers. Some were correct, some were wrong. Their job was to find the mistakes. Daniel opened the first task. The AI wrote a summary of a financial report. Most of it looked perfect, smooth, clear, professional, but one number was wrong. The AI added a 0, a small error, with big consequences. Daniel circled it. In the next task, the AI confused 2 departments, Human resources became human research. A tiny change. But the meaning shifted completely. Daniel circled it again. By the fourth task, he felt something surprising. He felt useful. His experience mattered. His eyes caught details the machine missed. He whispered to himself, "You still have value. You can see what it cannot." During the break, Maya walked over with a smile. "How was the exercise?" she asked. Daniel held up his sheet. "I found 14 mistakes." Maya raised her eyebrows. 14? I found 8. Daniel laughed for the first time in days. Maybe the machine learns fast, but I still know a few things. Maya nodded. That's the point. AI works best when humans guide it, when humans correct it, when humans say no. The afternoon session returned to the main topic. The instructor asked, "Why do people trust AI too much?" A man answered, "Because it sounds confident." Another said, "Because it works fast." A third added, "Because we want simple answers." The instructor agreed. Yes, and that is why mistakes can be dangerous. Humans must stay responsible. AI can support decisions, but it should never replace human thinking. Her words echoed in Daniel's mind. Replace human thinking. He remembered the fear he felt in Chapter 1, the idea that machines were taking everything. But now he understood something deeper. Machines were strong, but blind. Smart, but without wisdom. Fast, but without judgment. Humans were still the ones who made final choices. At the end of the day, Daniel walked out of the training center feeling lighter. The sky was soft blue. The evening wind touched his face gently. He thought of the stories, the hospital mistake, the lost truck, the wrong numbers. He realized something important. The danger was not AI. The danger was blind trust. He whispered to himself, "Maybe the future is not machines replacing us. Maybe the future is machines needing us more than we think." As he crossed the street, his phone buzzed. A message from the company. Tomorrow, first session for new AI trainers. Prepare to guide the system. Guide the system. The words felt powerful. Daniel looked up at the sky. The world was changing. But now he felt ready to stand inside the change. Tomorrow, he would not just watch AI from a distance. Tomorrow, he would shape it. Chapter 6. The Human Heart in a Digital World. The next day, Daniel arrived early for the AI trainer session. The room was quiet. The computers were off. A single sentence was written on the whiteboard. AI learns fast, but humans feel deeply. Daniel stared at the words. He felt something warm inside his chest. Maybe, in this new world, feelings were not a weakness. Maybe they were the last human strength machines could never touch. The instructor entered the room. She looked calm, almost gentle today. "Welcome," she said. Today is not about data, not about patterns, not about speed. Today is about the human heart. The students looked confused. Human heart? What did emotions have to do with training an AI system? The instructor continued. I can answer questions. I can make suggestions. But I cannot understand people. It cannot feel fear, hope, sadness, love, or moral responsibility. She paused and let the silence settle. That is why humans are still essential. A future with technology still needs a human soul. Daniel listened carefully. His job was starting to feel bigger than he expected. The first exercise began. The instructor opened the AI training platform. "Today," she said, "you will teach the AI how to respond to human emotions." She wrote a scenario on the board. A customer is angry because he lost access to his account. The AI gave its first answer. "Your problem is noted. Please wait." The room groaned. The answer was cold, robotic, empty. The instructor shook her head. This is what happens when a machine tries to speak without understanding feelings. She turned to the class. How should a human respond? Maya raised her hand. Maybe something like, "I'm sorry this happened. I understand your frustration. Let me help you fix it." The instructor smiled. Yes, humans begin with empathy. Machines begin with logic. Daniel typed the human response into the training system. The AI studied it. The screen flashed. Learning new emotional pattern. Response improved. The next scenario appeared. A student feels nervous before an important test. The AI's first answer was, "You must prepare more." Again, the room sighed. The instructor said softly, "Humans need comfort, not commands." Daniel thought for a moment. Then he typed, "I know tests can feel stressful. Take a deep breath. You have worked hard. I believe you can do this." The AI processed the new example. Empathy pattern added. Daniel felt a strange moment of pride. He was not teaching numbers. He was not teaching tasks. He was teaching a machine how to speak with kindness. For the first time, he saw the true meaning of his role, not replacing humans, but bringing humanity into technology. During the break, Daniel sat near the window. He looked at the street below, people rushing, talking, laughing, living their day. Maya joined him. "Strange, isn't it?" she said. "We spend all this time teaching AI logic, and now we teach it emotion." Daniel nodded. "But can a machine ever truly feel?" he asked. Maya shook her head. "No, it can only imitate. And that is why humans will always matter. A world full of machines still needs real hearts." Her words stayed with him. When the session continued, the instructor gave them one final task. Write a message that only a human could create. A message full of meaning. A message the AI can study, but never fully understand. Daniel thought of his first days with the new system, his fear, his confusion, the feeling that his world was collapsing. He began to type slowly. Technology can help us work. It can teach us. It can support us. But it cannot replace the quiet strength of a human voice. It cannot replace compassion. It cannot replace understanding. A future with machines still needs people who care. He pressed enter. The AI responded, Message saved. Meaning complex. Human emotional depth detected. Daniel smiled. For the first time since the AI arrived in the company, he felt in control. At the end of the day, the instructor gathered everyone. "You have learned something important," she said. AI is powerful. AI is fast. But AI is empty without human guidance. You are not serving the machine. You are shaping its voice, its behavior, its impact on the world. She paused and looked at each student. The future is not technology versus people. The future is technology guided by people with strong hearts. Daniel felt those words deeply. He no longer saw AI as an enemy. He no longer saw himself as weak. He understood something new. Humans are not losing their place. Humans are changing their place. As he walked out of the building, the sun was low in the sky. The world felt different, but so did he. He looked up and whispered to himself, "Maybe the future is not about machines taking over. Maybe it is about humans learning to stand beside them, without losing who we are." Tomorrow, he would continue his training. Tomorrow, he would teach the system more. Tomorrow, he would take another step into the digital world. But tonight, he walked home with a quiet confidence. A confidence born from something no machine could ever copy. A human heart. Chapter 7. The Future Arrives. One choice at a time. The final week of training arrived. The air inside the company felt different now. Calmer, but also heavier. People understood that AI was not a moment. It was a direction, a road that the world was already walking. Daniel entered the training room with a new sense of purpose. He no longer felt lost. He no longer felt afraid. But he did feel curious about where this new future would lead him. On the board, the instructor wrote 2 words. Your choice. She turned to the group. Technology does not choose our future, she said. Humans do. The room stayed silent. Everyone listened carefully, as if the future itself were speaking. The instructor continued. Today is your final session. You will not learn more about patterns or empathy. Today, you will understand how humans and AI shape the world together. She clicked the remote. A new image appeared. 2 paths splitting into different directions. One path, she said, is fear. A world where people stop learning. A world where machines grow, but humans remain still. She pointed to the second path. The other path is growth. Humans learning new skills. Humans guiding technology. Humans building a better world with AI, not against it. Daniel looked at the paths and felt something move inside him. He had spent weeks feeling unsure about the future. Now he understood that fear and hope were both choices. The instructor divided the class into small groups. Each group received a real-world scenario. Daniel's group got a difficult one. A factory replaces half its workers with robots. The community becomes angry. How can humans and AI work together instead of fighting? The group talked quietly. One man said, "Robots take the jobs." Another said, robots make new jobs too. Maya added, "People need training, not fear." Daniel listened, then spoke slowly. "Maybe the solution is not stopping the robots, but preparing people earlier, giving them skills before the change arrives, helping them guide the machines instead of losing everything." The group nodded. A simple idea, but powerful. They wrote their answer and submitted it. Then the instructor invited every group to the front. One by one, they presented solutions, training centers, human AI teams, better communication, new job paths, shared responsibility. The instructor smiled. "This," she said, "is what the world needs. Not panic, not blame, but cooperation." She turned to the class. AI is fast. AI is strong. But the future depends on your choices. Will you learn? Will you adapt? Will you guide? Her voice grew softer. Machines do not choose right or wrong. Humans do. Daniel felt those words inside his bones. He had lived through fear, confusion, and doubt, but he had also discovered strength, skill, and a new purpose. The instructor handed each student a card. AI trainer, certified. Daniel held it in his hand. The card was simple, but to him, it felt like a key to a future he once feared. When the session ended, Daniel walked out of the building. The evening sky was orange and gold. People hurried home. Cars moved in long lines. The city lived with a rhythm both human and digital. He stood on the sidewalk and watched the world. He saw a delivery robot rolling across the street, a self-driving bus stopping at a light, a woman using an AI assistant on her phone, a student walking with headphones, listening to an online class. He understood something clearly now. AI was already here. Not tomorrow, not next year, now. The question was not whether AI would change the world. The question was whether humans would choose to change with it. As Daniel walked toward the train station, he thought about his past 3 months. The shock on the first day, the fear of losing his job, the discovery that machines make mistakes, the lessons on emotion and empathy, and the truth that humans still guide the world. He took a deep breath. The air felt cold, but clean. A message appeared on his phone from the company. "Your first AI trainer assignment starts tomorrow." He smiled, not a wide smile, but a quiet, confident one. He whispered into the wind, "I'm ready." Not because he knew everything, not because he had no fear, but because he finally understood that the future was not a storm to escape. It was a journey to walk, step by step, choice by choice. A future built by machines, but shaped by human hands. And Daniel, an ordinary worker, was now part of that shaping. The train arrived, the doors opened. Daniel stepped inside. Not just into the train, but into the future he once feared. A future arriving one decision at a time.